What's up, guys? So today we're going to have a discussion and demonstration on how to do natural harmonics, dive bombs, and screamers. If you don't know what they are, they're really noisy things that you can do on your guitar that are sometimes pretty fun. So if you've been following me for a while here, sorry about that, you probably have realized that I put more emphasis on being thorough rather than concise. So rather than jumping right into it, what I'm going to do real quick first is just show you a couple diagrams with a bit of the science behind how these work. And it's been a long time since I studied this physics stuff, so hopefully I'm right. But yeah, I'm just going to give you a quick explanation of why this works and how, and then we'll get right into it. So I've just drawn a couple little diagrams here. Apparently I got some hair on one of them. And what this is intended to represent is your string. So you've got your, let's say, your nut and your bridge. Those are the two contact points for your string. Now when the string is at rest, it should extend straight between them. When the string is plucked or struck with the plectrum, what happens is it creates one wave pattern like this. So it'll be alternating. I've drawn a dotted line because the string can't be in two places at once. It'll be alternating between there and there, for example. And it doesn't go in quite a perfect circle, but that's not really the point. Anyway, that's how that works. Now, when you hit a fret the normal way, the string sits straight between the nut and the fret, and then does the same thing. So that's all pretty obvious. But when you go to create a harmonic, namely a natural harmonic, well, it's the same with a pinch harmonic if you're familiar with that, but it's striking it with your thumb. Anyway, when you go to create a harmonic, it does something a little different. So here, I've set a middle point. That's your 12th fret. And I'll show you what a natural harmonic looks and sounds like with a guitar momentarily here. But the idea is, it's creating that note, but it's doing it twice. Okay? So you're throwing your string into a harmonic where it's got two separate sections creating that smaller wave. And when you start doing it closer to the nut, for example, or closer to the bridge, and you hit one of these points, I've just drawn kind of a random number of these, then you throw it into smaller wavelengths and you get a higher note. So if I hit, for example, the 3rd fret, which is one of my favorites, I can throw it into a higher pitched note with all of these harmonics. So let's go ahead and get into the demonstration of how that looks and sounds when you're playing it on an actual guitar. I just wanted to give you guys a brief idea of how this kind of works. Disclaimer: I don't claim to be good at this. I do, however, claim to know how it works. So if you think I'm wrong about how it works, let me know. If you feel the need to let me know how bad I am at it, fair enough, but just realize that I know. Alright guys, so let's kind of go through this quickly from this viewpoint, and then I'll try and give you a better look at what I'm doing with my hand here. So a natural harmonic, as I showed you, was something that throws the guitar into multiple wavelengths. And when you're doing it at the 12th fret, which for me is right here, by the way, it's easiest to do this stuff with the bridge pickup and lots of gain, essentially. That makes it easier. It's not necessary, but that's what I'm going to do for the purposes of demonstration. So when you're doing these things at the 12th fret, I got my E, I hit this one, it's an octave, and I showed you that the two sections were supposed to be equal. So when I do that, sorry for the noise, I should get the same note. And notice if I hit a normal note and then I let go, it loses it. But if I do a harmonic, I'm balancing the string almost on that wavelength, so I can take my finger off and still get the same note as opposed to having it ring open after. Sorry, I hope the sound in this video doesn't have me competing too much with the amp. I've got it set fairly quietly. Anyway, the way that you do this is by just gently touching the string as you're striking it. You don't actually fret it, you just touch it gently. Okay, and you can do it right above, some people like to do it right above the fret. That's how I learned. Now I do it slightly behind the fret, kind of the way I would play it normally. But under the proper circumstances, you should be able to, apparently my guitar is kind of noisy, should be able to throw a string into a harmonic even after it's played, just by touching it gently. Okay? And I said that if you move up or down the neck, you should be able to get higher notes. So, for example, the 3rd fret is one of my favorites. Normally the 3rd fretted sounds like this. But if I play it as a harmonic, then I'm getting that length of string. So I'm putting out a quite high note. And once I've thrown that into the harmonic, if I'm careful with how I use my finger, I can move it around. Right? So you can get some pretty cool metal sounds from that. And I'll get you in closer to kind of see how that works a little bit. Well, actually, I really explained it. Let me just do this real quick and show you. So I've got it just barely touching the fret. Right? Same with this one, 12. As opposed to fretting it and then letting go and having it go back to the other one. Alright, now that's your natural harmonic, and that's the basis for your dive bomb and your screamer, which just require you to use a whammy bar. If you don't have a floating tremolo, it's going to be a little more difficult on you. If you don't have any tremolo, you better stick to just moving your finger like I just did. But essentially, you can use that exact same thing. You can actually do this on multiple strings. Sorry. Several strings if you want. And you just start low if you want to do a screamer and pull up. You can do it on a different string. Right? Or you start high and then push down. If you want to do a dive bomb. So you can start from nothing on the whammy bar and move it around after, or to get the full effect you can start in a depressed or extended position and then go from there. And that's really all there is to it. So once you've gotten a handle on how to do your natural harmonics, changing it to a dive bomb or screamer is just a matter of playing with your whammy bar. Don't get weird on me when I say that. It's just a matter of using your tremolo system to move it up or down. And you can go full Ed Herman or whatever, the Dragon Force guy. If you want, and lift your guitar up by your tremolo. I don't see why you would, but you can. And vice versa, you can depress it pretty far and have your strings just flop in there. So that's really about it. I hope that was informative for you. If you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.